folks, it's Abby from Abby of Pellinor, and I'm going to be doing my 6-month book haul today. So I haven't done a single haul all year so far. This is every single book that I've gotten in 2024. Let's dive straight into them. I'm going in order the way that I acquired them. I have a page in my bullet journal where I jot all of these down so I was able to keep a track of them. Otherwise, I'd have no clue. First up, we have a Goldsborough book, which is A House of Open Wounds by Adrian Tchaikovsky. And this is the second book in the series. The first book is City of Last Chances, which I really enjoyed, and I haven't read this one yet. Shh. The actual Goldsborough book for that month was Voyage of the Damned by Frances White. Another one I've not read. I assume this is some sort of piratey thing. A 12-day voyage to the sacred goddess's mountain. Ooh, I'll read it soon. And then last but not least for January, this one was gifted to me by the lovely Olivia Savannah from Olivia's Catastrophe, and that is Know My Name by Chanel Miller. She was sexually assaulted by a man on Stanford campus. I think we all know who that was. And this is her story in her own words. It's not an easy read, but I gave this 5 stars. February was much more successful on the reading front. I have actually read all 4 of these books that I got in February. First up is The Patriarchs by Angela Saini, which was gifted to me by the wonderful Hannah from Ladette M, as was the next book. This is a non-fiction all about patriarchy in a global scale and how it came to be such a prominent thing. I absolutely love this. And then also from Hannah is The Princess Bride by Wiliam Goldman. I originally read this on audiobook, now I have a physical copy and I really do need to reread it. Very excited. I think even if you've not watched this or read it, because the film is fantastic, it's of this farm boy that saves a beautiful princess and a whole like fantasy story around it. It's so much fun. Then the lovely Caitlin from Letters from Kinraddy gifted me a copy of The Tempest of Tea by Hafsah Faizal. I read this via audio. I got a copy from NetGalley and the Waterstones edition was to die for. And I was like, oh, I'm going to break my book buying ban in the 2nd month of the year. And she said no. And she got me it because she's adorable. I'm genuinely so grateful for that. Like, I will forever be grateful for that. Thank you so much, Caitlin. And then the final book for February is The Book of Doors by Gareth Brown. This is another Goldsborough book. This is another gorgeous Goldsborough book. And this one, there are magic books that allow you to do magic, and this one lets you open a door and it opens the door to wherever you think. And that causes problems because people want to steal that book. Then we are on to March. This one is another one that was less successful. So first up, what I've read, which is Extracts from My Own Story by Emmeline Pankhurst. This was another one from Caitlin from Letters from Kinraddy. And this is just some excerpts from the full story, My Own Story, by The Suffragette. Then, 2 I've not read. First up is Faebound by Saraa El-Arifi. So this was supposed to be December's book for Goldsborough, and I did not skip this, but I think what happened is that like loads of their copies got damaged, and so they just weren't able to offer them out to people. So maybe a 5th of people that wanted it got it, which I was incredibly disappointed by because I read and adored The Final Strife by Saraa El-Arifi. So I wanted this gorgeous book from the same author, and then in March they contacted me and were like, oh yeah, you're one of a few we're contacting, we have a copy, would you like to purchase it? And I said, yes I would. And I considered that not breaking my book buying ban because I was supposed to buy it in December, and it's not my fault that they had issues. I'm aware it's cheating, but look man, I wasn't passing it up. And then the actual Goldsborough book for that month was High Voltage by Chris Sugden and Jen Sugden, and this is meant to be like a very British humour take on, what is it, like investigators? Yeah, I haven't read this one yet. Hopefully I will soon. Then I read this on the day I got it, no one is surprised, A Mindful of Murder, a skullduggery pleasant book by Derek Landy. This is a skeleton detective and starting out as a young girl living in Ireland, and they do magic and they kill people, and it's fantastic middle grade series. Then, still not read this one yet, Mr. Stoker and the Vampires of the Lyceum by Matthew Gibson. So I actually went to, with my partner, I went to a talk from the author and I hadn't heard anyone else talk about it, and then suddenly Becca from the Book Sanctum got a copy of it in her Waypoint Books selection, so that was unexpected. And then the final book for my March haul was A Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan, which I am very, very excited to read. This was another Olivia unhaul. Yeah, I haven't read this one yet, but I've wanted it for years. Like, years. So I am so excited to finally be able to dive into this one. Then we move into April. So, One for My Enemy by Olivie Blake was sent to me by the lovely folks over at Tor as part of their blog tour. So I have read this one, and it is a Romeo and Juliet retelling. Then One from My Dad, loosely based on a made-up story by James Blunt. I don't know if I'm keeping this. I only finished it in June, and I'm filming this in July, and I may get rid of that one because I wasn't the biggest fan. Then we have Jailhouse Lawyer by James Patterson and Nancy Allen. This is another dad on haul. It should be a quick read, it's James Patterson, but hey ho. Another book from the wonderful folks over at Tor for another book tour, and that is Can't Spell Treason Without T by Thorne. They are traditionally publishing the independent published series, and I adore this so much, and I am very excited for A Pirate's Life for Tea. Then two books that the wonderful Gary from Caring for Books got me. We did a very late Christmas and birthday present swapping. This is in April. Our birthdays are in October. Shipping between the US and the UK was it was awful. So she got me Owls of the Eastern Ice by Jonathan C. Slart. I have read this. I love it so much. So actually Carrie read it before she sent it, and she did little annotations, and I adore when we do that for each other. But this is also just such a good book, so readable. And then the other book that she got me I haven't read yet. It is bigger. But I've read this one because it came up on my TBR jar pick. So this one might come up soon, and that is Upon a Burning Throne by Ashok K. Banker. This is one that Carrie has read herself. It's some sort of fantasy. Demigods and demons walk along with mortals. Carrie liked it, so I will most likely like it. Then we move into May, another blog tour book from Tor, and we have Elusive by Genevieve Cogman. This is the second book in the Scarlet Revolution series. I should really check what that series is called. But I got the first book, Scarlet, which is up there, you probably can't see it, from a Goldsboro box, and then they announced that even though they had like gorgeous sprayed edges on it and everything, they're not carrying on with the series. They keep doing that. Regardless, I'm very lucky that I got to read Elusive as part of the blog tour, and I'm really enjoying this trilogy. I'm so excited for the third and final book. French Revolution with vampires. Who would think I'd love that? But I do. Two of my caveats that were pre-made for my book buying year. I bought books in Swedish in Sweden. Excuse my Swedish accent, it is atrocious, but we have Svenska Dagur and Svenska Fåglar, Iglor och Rövfåglar by Martin Emtenos and Jonas Karlberg. I know like at least 3 Swedish people that watch my videos. I'm so sorry. I'm trying. But yes, these are kids books. I read, can I grab it? No, it's unreachable. But I read Svenska Fåglar last year. I got it when I went to Sweden last year, and I thought it was really cute. It's a non-fiction that has like Pokemon style bits for animals and birds that are present in Sweden, and whilst there are some differences, the UK and Sweden do have a fairly similar bird population, so it's actually also useful for me, for the UK, to identify birds. So yeah, this is so cute. Another book tour. There was an influx of book tours all at once, and I had a fantastic time with them. This is Spirits Abroad by Zen Cho. I adored Zen Cho's Blackwater Sister, and this is a collection of short stories also set around Southeast Asian and Malaysian specifically, like ghost stories and folktales. I adored this so much. Oh, I had such a fantastic time with this. Like, Zen Cho is a gorgeous writer. Then the Goldsboro book for the month was 5 Broken Blades by Mai Corland, with this absolutely stunning sprayed edge. I still haven't read this one, but it sounds good. There's like 5 people that have to, oh, bookmark, I forgot I came with a bookmark. There's 5 killers that have to win. They've got to kill the God King June, and they're going to end up killing each other, I assume. And then also, one of my series came through, and this is the 3rd and final book in the Collarbound trilogy, and that is The Lightborn by Rebecca Zahabi. I only just read the 2nd book, The Hawkling, so I am very excited to read this, but I haven't grabbed it yet. 2 more left for May. First up we have The Mime Order, the author's preferred text by Samantha Shannon. This is the Broken Binding edition, which is stunning. Am I pissed off that the Broken Binding isn't even giving release dates as they slowly drip feed this series that is already out and published? Yeah, I'm quite pissed off about that, but they are really pretty. Like, I can't deny they're gorgeous, they're stunning. Like, will not deny that. But also, Like, everybody else has already published them. What do you mean you can't even tell me what month it's in? So I'm continuously, anytime I remember the series, which I love, anxious that I've missed the next book. And then the last one for May was Running Close to the Wind by Alexandra Rowland. This was another tour, blog tour. Didn't like this one as much. Really enjoyed the ending. The first 150 pages made me want to DNF it, which means it's very difficult to talk about this book. And then we are on to the final month, which is of course June. First up, we have a book that was sent to me by the publishers at W&N, and this is a non-fiction book called The Missing Threads by Daisy Dunn, going into women who were missed out of the historical lexicon for ancient Greece and ancient Rome. This was absolutely fascinating. I loved it. Then Chloe from Chloe Reads Books did an unhaul, and I saw this and was like, this sounds so interesting though, like it's such a pity you didn't like it. And she sent it my way, so thank you very much, Chloe. I really do appreciate it. I haven't read this one yet, but I am very excited to do so, and I may be doing it for the Middle-earth-along. Middle-earth-a-thon. I should know how to say that, because there is a tin of condensed milk on the cover, so it fits for my prompts. And then my dad came. I mean, both my parents came. They came down to visit us. It was good, but he brought down all of his unwanted books, like the ones that he'd read. And he doesn't keep any of his books. He's never kept any. So I just have a load of Kev books that are just like plumped up my TBR. Not the biggest fan of this. And yet I hoard the books, so I read this one because I wanted to try and get one of them out of the way, and that is The House Next Door by James Patterson, with also Susan DeLello, Max DeLello, not related apparently, and Brendan DuBois. This is a collection of 3 short stories. Crazy House by James Patterson, which my dad hasn't actually read because it turns out it's a YA book, and he considers himself too old for YA. He is in his 50s, so I will let him off. Then 20th Victim by James Patterson. I can't blast through this one. Because I have 19th Christmas, the book before it, on my TBR, and I'm waiting until December to read it, so that's just going to sit on the TBR until 2025. Thanks, Kev. Then Blue Gold by Clive Cussler. Usually I would not keep this, but it's all about, where was the wording? Eco-extortionists. And you all know I love the environment, so like I was like, damn it. Final one, Red Sparrow by Jason Matthews. So those are the books. I am not holding them up. No. It's too many. It's the same as my June wrap up. It's too many books. I'm not holding them. But yes, that is my entire haul for the first half of 2024. I feel like I've done okay. I could have done better. I could have done worse. So I have acquired 34 books in the first half of this year, which is a fair amount for someone with a book buying ban. Imagine if I'd been buying books I wanted to buy. This is why my TBR never goes down. Ignoring that, I'm so grateful both to any publishers but also my wonderful friends and family who have gifted me the vast majority of these books. Thank you so much. I genuinely really appreciate it. I've read a fair few. There are still quite a few I need to get to, but I have read a fair few, and I'm so grateful for each and every one. Please let me know in the comments down below, if you know, how many books you have gotten so far in 2024. I'm sure for some of you it's 0, 1, 2, and I'm very proud of you, but I'm also sure for some of you that 34 is like nothing. So I would love to hear how many books you folks have grabbed. If you'd like to see me actually read through the rest of these that I haven't read yet already, then please do hit the subscribe button down below, and I will see you folks in the next video. Bye!